All right, hi you guys. Good morning. I hope all is well. I want to do a part two to the video that we talked about last night because I was literally typing in the chat, and the more I typed, I was like, you know what? Let me just do a video because I don't want to confuse anybody and people who are brand new. I know it's always easier to see it than to just be told it if you aren't or don't have that much experience in the markets. So we are literally still in the same exact spot that we were last night. All right. So we were in this divergence. I deleted everything off my chart except my foundation levels, so that I could show you guys this. Because last night I mentioned on the call or on the video last night, I said that on our 4 hour structure, we had not quite reached that overall 4 hour fib. And then I talked about how I didn't want to go down to the minor, or I was on the minor structure. I didn't want to go up to the higher time frame at that time because I had so many fibs on there. And if you're brand new and I have a whole bunch of minor fibs, when you go to the higher time frame, it looks like a whole bunch of stuff jumbled on top of each other. And if you don't understand it, it can look very, very overwhelming. So again, I deleted everything off so I could show y'all this. And it's really just understanding structure. However, so let's just look at this. So let's look at everything from a 4 hour perspective. We have this whole cell that was to the left hit negative 61.8. Then we have this whole 4 hour structure that's going on here, right? Now, the thing about 4 hour structure is on Sunday night calls, I don't dive too deep into the major structure because the most important thing at that point is understanding the right now money. You can understand that something is going up from a 4 hour, but to be honest, like it's gonna take forever for that to actually play out. Here, hence this fib. It's taking forever for this to actually play out. And in that, you have so many minor moves that are right in front of your face on a day-to-day basis that you don't want to be caught up just in major structure only. That's how people hit stop losses left to right. You can know this is going up, but if you don't see the retraces inside of it or the minor moves that's making up that overall move, then you will be hitting stop loss and blowing accounts every single time. So for instance, right, we know this went up, but if you look at this retrace here alone, right, this retrace was 592 pips. So almost 600 pips in a retrace, right? Does that make sense? So it's very important to look at the minor structure and look inside of price to see, okay, what is my right now money? What is happening on a day-to-day basis? What's happening on a week-to-week basis? So that's why we go into our analysis the way we do on Sunday night calls. However, where we are right now, right? So again, last night we had this divergence. We're still diverging. We have not moved at all. And where we were last night on our markups, we had a zone through here. Let me just put this back. We had a zone through here, and I talked about like once we actually have a breakout of this, we can look for this to basically retrace and test this zone because we have a lot of momentum pushing out of here, right? But we also talked about how on our fib, the reason that I didn't have a fib in that structure was because all of our retraces had not descended past our 23.6 mark from where we were. All right. And that's super important when you're trading because again, I always look at my 23.6s as my retrace level. And when you look at those retrace levels of your 23.6, that 23.6 means your continuation or consolidation, but mostly continuation when you're looking at it from that perspective. Again, watch the video last night because I don't want to be reiterating a lot of the stuff that I've already said, but I want to dive into the higher time frame so you see this. So last night, from where we were and where we are, all right, the thing I want you guys to see. So last year, and again, last night I talked about how you cannot understand where you're going if you do not first understand where you came from. Okay. So if we look in the same vicinity, right? Let me just put a ellipse on it so that this makes sense. So look at where we are now, right? And look over here. Do you see how we had a big descend with no real pullback in the structure that happened right here? Now, the reason being, we talked about this last year. This would be videos that you would have to literally scroll through. But if you've been following me for a while, you remember me talking about interest rates, or even L talking about interest rates, and how our dollar, how we were raising, or how Biden was raising the rates to strengthen the dollar, right? So as the dollar was strengthened, this is literally this whole drop mostly, but as the dollar was strengthened, right? Or as the rates were increased, our dollar increased, our currency got stronger, which caused GU to literally plummet for the most part, right? Now, if you look at this point right here, do y'all see how this was just a very strong push down, just a very strong impulse down, okay? What I want to make sure does not happen over here is that we don't have a very strong impulse up with no real, you know what I'm saying, pullback or anything. So this is what I said when I said I want to make sure you guys are aware of the bigger picture. This is the part that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. But I wanted to actually show it so that, because I know when you just hear it on the call, when I say, oh, be mindful of the 4 hour because we have not reached that level yet. Like some of y'all, if you don't actually go to the 4 hour chart, you're probably like, what is she talking about? Right. And then also that next point of this consolidation up here is literally here. Do y'all see this? Where we have this negative 27 up here, which again, we have not reached, which takes forever to reach. So don't look at it on, oh, I'm about to hop in this for this right now. Like you got to understand the bigger picture. Now, again, I'm still looking for a retrace. I want to make sure, however, I'm not getting in until I have like confirmations. If you are a scalper, right, you definitely could take advantage of minor movements. I'm just more so of an intraday trader. But like even let's say last night, we never had like a clean break of anything. You see how here we never had like a real clean break or retest, but this structure is still this structure. So even from where we were last night, this still dropped down probably like 20 something pips. Again, let me put this on auto. Why is my computer not going on auto? Okay, well, I'll just measure it. So where we were last night, we still have a good, I would say 20 something pips, almost 30 pips. Oh, hold on. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah. But again, it's just very minor structured price. Yeah, so still about 30 pips. It's just minor structured price. So that's what I wanted y'all to be aware of. Again, we're still in the exact same spot that we were last night. Nothing has played out, but before price does play out, I want to make sure that my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed so that y'all know what y'all are looking for and how to really adapt or adjust to it. So make sure you have your breaks and retests, or make sure you actually like paying attention to price at that particular moment. Set your alerts, all right, so you can be mindful and just watch. All right. Talk to you guys next week. See you soon.